When I started in Houston at Rashard Lewis fundraiser, nice as hell. I ain't playing. I'm just watching everybody else trash hitting the ball in the woods, can barely hit the ball. I'm like, why did y'all waste your time? Like, y'all is trash. Like, I know I could do better than that. I pull up on Moses Malone, rest in peace, his group. He's like, man, you think it's so easy? Come hit this ball. I'm like, Hall of Famers say, come hit this ball. I got to get up and go hit this ball. Anybody else? Like, okay, I ain't doing that. So I get up there. He showed me how to hold it. I'm like, all right, like this. First swing, 300 yards down the fairway. Straight up.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Part 3 podcast. This is our brand new show. I'm Ben Baller, co-host. Got my man, J.R. Smith. Got my boy, Stephen Malbon. How do we come together, man? Let's talk about it.
Beautiful game of golf, once again.
Yeah, golf strikes again for me. To actually be around you guys right now is really amazing. And obviously, the game of golf just brings so many different people together in different backgrounds. And
I'm brand new to it. So, obviously respect you for what you've done in your career. Respect Stephen for the friendship and the career. I met Stephen many years ago when he had his magazine. I didn't know he golfed, but he had talked about it. I'd seen people golfing, and I just never really thought it was that interesting. To me,
cool. You didn't think it was cool.
I didn't think it was cool, and that's the truth, It was like, man, I'm cool, and like my family played, and so, I don't know, I played a tournament one day, and I never played golf before, and so I put a message out on Instagram. Hey, does anybody have a golf instructor they can introduce me to? And a bunch of people had everyone tagged, and they must have tagged everyone from Butch Harmon to a local pro. And then you hit me and said, don't worry about nobody, I got you. And ever since then, bro, you've changed my life.
Yes, sir. Ron Del Barrio is he's the guy. He's like the Yoda when it comes to it. But yeah, me and Ben, I've known Ben forever. I've been a fan of JR's, obviously. I'm pleased to be here with you two, and this is going to be a wild one.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be dope. For me, it's crazy because talking about it off camera a little bit, but right before COVID, I was supposed to come to the store. I've seen certain people out here in LA and Lakeside and Bel Air and LACC with different head covers and towels. I'm like, yo, that is fire, bro. Where do I get that from? And it told me about the store, and then sure enough, COVID happens. I was like, damn, man, I gotta get it. And then 2.5, 3 years later, I'm sitting right next to you. This is amazing. Ben, obviously, from content, from music to jewels, you everywhere, bro. So it's hard. You're really hard to miss. Like those earrings, man. You really hard to miss, man. You just be shining. But I'm happy to be here, man. This is amazing. How did you get into golf, though? Because I guess you're the newest.
I took my first lesson. My coach is a lot like a regular coach. He cusses, smokes cigarettes, and it's literally big sign says no smoking. You know what I mean? Cusses, texts everybody. What? And he goes, okay, just hit this ball. And I'll never forget that for a month and a half, I couldn't use any other club but a pitching wedge. And I'm like, yo, is he punking me, bro? I need to know why is he doing this? I'm ready to hit the driver. I never played golf. I didn't even know I didn't understand the concept of 987. I didn't understand what the irons. I knew the driver was a driver, but I didn't know anything else. So I'm hitting the pitching wedge, and he's like, all right, man, you got some potential. I think I'll see you another time. And I was just getting a lesson once a week. And then TaylorMade sent me clubs. They're like, hey, man, we'd let us send you some clubs. Sent me some clubs. Then coming to find out, they sent me blades because they were expensive and nice. I didn't know what that meant. And I was like, man, these clubs are hard to hit. I go down in the Kingdom and I get fitted, and Trotty's like, who gave you these clubs? And I was like, well, a stranger did. And he goes, no, we need to give you something else that you could actually hit. This is hard. This is for someone when you get to a scratch level or to a single handicap. And he's like, why'd you send them these? He goes, because they're the expensive ones. They wanted to market them. Obviously had a lot of followers. So I got fitted. I understood a little better. And then I went to go play Torrey Pines South. I was waiting for the golf cart to pull up. And they're like, nah, man, you should feel the experience of what it's like to walk. I'm like, bro, I'm 49 years old. I don't want to walk this course, bro. I'm old. I'm not going to play golf anymore. And I did actually I did okay my first round of golf. And right after that weekend, something happened. So the practice 1 time a week turned to 3-4 times a week. And then started playing more. And then I played a Malbon tournament at Braemar. That, and then the Roosevelt one was after maybe, but I started playing some more tournaments. And then I broke 100. And I was like, okay, I think I can do this. Then I realized shit was all messed up. It just was, you know what I mean? Like I thought I figured it out. And you're never gonna figure it out, right? So
Let me get this right. Your first round of golf was Torrey Pine South?
yeah, Torrey Pine South. From the tips, walking the course. And they said, your Rolls Royce ain't here to save you today. And I was like, why has it got to be about that though? And then he's like, I'm just trying to get in your head and understand this is a mental game.
Right.
And I was
That's
like, all right.
impressive. Torrey Pine South for your first round is impressive.
Walking, schlepping.
Walking. I'm glad Charlie got you out them blades though.
Yeah, no, I don't care about what clubs look like. I mean, I just want the way the clubs I have now, my stelts, they just feel better. I can hit them easier. And I mean, it's still a big process, you know? I mean,
How many years technically have you been playing?
I swung my first golf club just about a year ago.
A year ago. Okay.
I've been playing rounds for just under 7 months. And I played my first Pro-Am last month in Japan at the Zozo Champ.
So how many rounds do you think you've played it?
I've played 26 rounds so far today.
Oh, you know for a fact?
Yeah.
Oh, bro. How'd you get into it?
I started when I was little. I started when I was, I got a job at a golf course, working the range, you know, like with the cart, picking up the balls. And they had these tubes where you go in the marshy woodland area and you could take the tube and pick up the ball and fill it up like 30 balls or something. And then you walk over to the bucket, dump it in the bucket and go back in the woods and keep doing it. And so you had that option, or you could just take a club and hack them out into the middle of the range. And then you could get in the cart and pick them up. So that's really how I learned how to hit the ball. So I was 12 working at a driving range, and then I would chip the balls out of the woods. The older kids like working there, because I was like the youngest. So the older people working there, then they played all the time, and they would go out after work and this and the other. And so I realized that like the only way they're going to invite me to be able to play with them is if I can figure it out, if I can actually play, you know, if I can handle myself and understand, like, one, how to hit the ball, but two, like, you know, the little nuances and such of golf. Like it's not only about hitting it, it's like who hits first and where you stand and when you're silent, and, you know, like the manners and such of it is important too. So that at that point I was thinking, you know, I got to get better. I got to get better at golf. And I had played tennis before, so I understood how to hit spin. Like I could hit top spin, or I could hit cross court, or I could hit like a cut. I realized hitting like a slice is like hitting an approach shot or a cut in tennis. You know, you got to spin the ball. And so I learned how to spin the ball based off of the tennis. There was an assistant pro who kind of like took a liking to me or something as a kid. And then he started to give me lessons and kind of help me to get it, you know, figured out. My pops played, so I always wanted to get better to be able to play with him and his friends and all of that. And so I started young, and I got decent by the time I was probably like almost 16. Mm-hmm. And then some of my friends got cars, and the last thing I wanted to do was hit balls all day at the range when everybody else was doing everything but golf. So I bailed, and I didn't golf anymore. I went to art school in Atlanta, and I didn't have a way to make money, so I figured I could caddy, because I'd already learned like why I would get tips. You know, if you pull up, I'll pull up on you right when you pull in. I'm at your trunk. Pop, get the bag, how you doing? Maybe if I remembered your daughter's name or your wife's name, I'd ask how they are, you know, and then bang, you hit me with a 20 just because every time. So then I start, you know, I check cars and shit. I know who's coming down the hill tee times, and I'd be in the parking lot like waiting, like Mr. Smith's on his way. I got his ass today. Whoop, get the bag. And so I knew I could make tips at the golf course, and I didn't really have any intentions of playing. So I was probably like 19. All the other caddies, we would play every Monday. So the caddies could play for free on Monday, and they'd walk like 36 holes. And all week long, you'd be talking about bets and talking shit and who's going to beat who. And, you know, so it became this whole thing. So then at that point, I was like, I'm in, I'll play with y'all. And then I had to start practicing. So then I'd go to the driving range a couple of days a week, not tell any of them. Go hit balls, go practice, go chip, and just so I could gamble with all of them on Mondays. So then I did that. You know, the addiction was back. I don't know, 3-4 years straight in Atlanta where I caddied and golfed. And then I moved to New York City, and I abandoned it again. Did ad agency, marketing, publishing stuff. And I never played once in New York. And then when I was 33, my wife, Erica, we were pregnant with Remington, my second son. And I was out partying and doing too much, and she was tight. I came in at like 9 a.m. She was tight, and so I said, look, we're in this together. You know, I won't drink a party until you have the baby, because you know, it's my baby too. So just because you're preggy doesn't mean you sit at home and I go be a derelict. So I'll just chill and stay home. And so she was like, oh, you're the best husband ever. You're the greatest dad. And then I'm like, how in the world am I going to stop partying and going to nightclubs every night? How am I going to do it? And I was done. She wasn't angry anymore, but I had committed to not partying and drinking and, you know, doing drugs and shit. So then I figured I'll just start golfing again. So I started getting tee times at like Angeles National. Anywhere I could get tee times, I get them as early as humanly possible. So it would make sure I'd at least have something in my head where I'm like, well, I'm gonna go to bed early because I'm playing at, you know, 7:05, I'm teeing off. So then it took about 2-3 days. And then I switched the addiction of partying and everything else to golf. And then I was like doing flyovers on the holes where I go on the hole and look on the computer and it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna hit 4-iron on the first hole. I hit 3-wood on the second, driver. You know, so I'm taking like notes and shit on how I can go and, you know, give it my best attempt. Cleaning my clubs, picking my outfits out, getting up early. And that was it. I haven't really stopped playing since then. That was 33 and I'm 46. So that was about 13 years ago where I really started basically playing every day. I'm still at it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
How about you, man?
Man, so for me, it's like, I'm so mad at myself because my brother and my dad played, bro, growing up. And like my brother got trophies. He played in all, like him and his boys played in all types of events. And we're like 12, 13 years old. And I wouldn't play. I was like, nah, bro. I'm playing football, I'm playing basketball, I'm playing baseball. Like, this is my, like, that's my game. I'm either Ken Griffey, Michael Jordan, or I'm Deion Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got, like, there wasn't Tiger Woods for me. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't Tiger at the time. So for me, it was like, that shit wasn't cool. That shit, I'll kick myself almost every day because I could have been, if I'd have started then, where I could be at by now is crazy. But I started in Houston at Rashard Lewis had a fundraiser, you know, outing event. And I was working out with John Lucas at the time and TJ Ford and Steve Francis and all those dudes where we were all working out. But they all knew Rashard because Rashard's from Houston. And they were like, yo, we're going to go out there, support his foundation, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool, I ain't doing nothing. I go out. I told them I didn't play golf. They was like, no, that's cool, you ain't got to play. You can just ride around with the car, you know, to have drinks, chill, smoke. We're going to mess with the cart girls and shit. Like, oh, there's girls out there? All right, bet. Of course, get out there, having a good time. It's a vibe. It's nice as hell. I ain't playing. I'm just watching everybody else trash hitting the ball in the woods, can barely hit the ball. I'm like, why did y'all waste your time? Like, y'all is trash. Like, I know I could be do better than that. So, long story short, I get up there and I pull up on Moses Malone. Moses Malone, rest in peace, his group. And, you know, Hall of Famers to me, when I was growing up, was like everything. Like Moses Malone, Dr. J, like I remember watching them, like Mo Cheeks and all of that in Philly. And as a youngster, watching that and showing that and having that respect for them. And, you know, I wasn't talking shit to him, but I was talking shit to other people in his group. And he was like, man, you think it's so easy? Come hit this ball. I'm like, Hall of Famers say come hit this ball. I got to get up and go hit this ball. Anybody else? I'm like, okay, I ain't doing that. So I get up there. He showed me how to hold it. I'm like, oh, all right. Like this, first swing, 300 yards down the fairway, straight up. They couldn't believe that shit. I'm like, man, but me, that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting to do that. Like after I'm watching y'all, like I'm an athlete. I can do this. That's easy.
How long ago was this?
This is what, 13 years ago, 14 years ago?
Damn.
I hit the ball, talking shit, throw the club back, like get in the cart, pull off. I'm hyped. You know what I'm saying? They can't believe it. But I don't even realize what I just did.
Yeah.
So probably about an hour and a half go by, I pull back up on this group. He telling people all day long, people who've been going by, they've been talking about it. Word got around on the course and all this shit. So now it's like pressure, it's tense. So, but I didn't even like, you know what I mean? I low-key put it on myself because I was talking shit too. So I'm riding around, pull back up on this group. It's like, motherfucker, do it again. I bet you can't do it again. So now, of course, people start coming out the woodworks. Let me see what he gonna do. Let me see. Man, I could barely hit the fucking ball, dog. And when I tell you after that, I was hooked. I literally left. I think I used somebody's clubs up until about 6 o'clock until the event was over. And then ran to one of the local golf stores in Houston. I bought a set of clubs, tried to run back to the golf course, trying to beat the sun. Couldn't do it. Next day, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm up, ready. I went and got clothes. I got all the Nike gear before Nike could even send it to me there. I already placed some phone calls. Like, no, we're going to send it to you. I'm like, all right, cool. Go to Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm buying the whole rack anyway.
Exactly.
After that, I was hooked, bro. I've been playing ever since, every day almost. It's funny because to what you were saying, like, for me, when I was playing in the league, like, I was playing before practices. I was playing before games. Like, it was so soothing. I had to, like, get out of the nightlife. Everybody was so, he go out. I'm like, all right, cool. Would you rather me go out? Or would you rather me be on the golf course at 7 a.m.? And then it's like, oh, nah, you playing golf too much and this and that. I'm like, bro, you can't win for losing that.
Yeah, some habits are better than others.
Yeah.
I know in baseball for major leagues, they won't let them play during the season, but they didn't care about you playing during the season.
Like when I was with the Knicks, they didn't care. But when I got to Cleveland, it was like we were playing in the finals, and they just thought I wasn't as focused or whatever. I'm just like, bro, if anything, this locks me in because I ain't sitting in the hotel going crazy. Bro, golf, for me, I literally spend so much time just sitting there watching it, thinking about it, reading it. Like, I don't have, like, other than, you know what I mean? With my kids, I don't have time for nothing else.
Exactly.
Real talk, man. That's all of us, I think. Malbon, what do you expect, like, what do you want out of this show? Tell the people.
I think we can just talk about our experiences and what's going on in the golf world and bringing in certain friends that can come in and talk with us and have just basically show that, like, you don't have to be like a cookie cutter version of what you think golf is to be obsessed with it.
Right.
And that addiction, it isn't doesn't discriminate much. You know what I mean? When you get bit by the golf bug, there's nothing you can do about it. You know, like all three of us has happened. Like I was telling Ben, he said, you introduced me to my instructor and got me hooked on golf. And I said, you know, it's a blessing and a curse, because the curse side is that it's like JR, he hits the first ball perfect. He's like, this shit is easy. And then reality sets in, you know, and it's like golf, every time you think you got it figured out, that's when it's getting ready to get real bad. Anytime you think you got it,
That's
Bro,
what,
you ready
it's
for
like,
this?
you're ready.
Ready.
It's like life.
10 days ago, I broke 80 for the first time at Angeles, right? I called Ron, cussed him out. I said, bro, I don't even need you to coach me anymore, bro, because this shit was easy today, I promise. I should have started 76. And he's like, I'm going to hang up on you. Me and Ron go play 2 days later. Shoot like
Welcome
a 91,
back.
bro.
Welcome
I was
back.
like, he's like, what'd you say again? Because he's usually giving me help on the course. Shot a 91, and I was like, man, the wind was bad today. He goes, here you go making excuses, man. He's like, golf is hard.
Humbling sport.
Yeah, you know,
man.
definitely.
golf's crazy. It's like the only thing I really like to talk about. Like you were saying, it's like I have my kids and my wife and my business is golf. So, you know, we started the golf brand because my wife was like, you know, I was going to like little kids galas and shit for the preschool here in LA. And just standing there like a bump on a log, like I'm not talking to anybody. I'm just standing there, all these other parents, and just until I see someone wearing like a LACC hat. And then I'm like, yo, you play? When we going? You know, and then I'm talking about like bounces of wedges and knockdown 7-irons. And like I light up when it's time to talk about golf. When it's golf, I could talk to strangers for hours about it. So why not just sit here and talk to y'all about it and see what comes out of it?
One coincidence that's a nice thing I always know I thought about was that we're all three fathers as well.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Multiple kids, right? That was something that was exciting. One thing to touch back on what JR said was, after I finally feel like I'm like not so terrible anymore, I'm still new to it, but I feel like much more comfortable playing anywhere with anyone. I played college basketball, right? You know what I'm saying? I was the first Asian in my university's history to play. I got a scholarship playing football, D1. Then I walked on the basketball team. If I put that much effort, AAU, Slam and Jam, all the leagues I did, and I had the chance to play golf, even younger, if I'd have put the effort into that.
You got your kids playing?
Yeah, my son, oldest one, London's playing. He's Ron coaches him, and then he's on his school's golf team. He's all right. It's not bad. And I just want him to even him out. You know, he's too addicted to video games, and I think that this really does mellow him out. And I told him it's more deeper than just what you think. I want this to be a lifestyle. You know, it's like therapy in a way to him sometimes when he's out there, because he really wants to focus on putting.
I think it is to us all in a sense.
Yeah.
Especially if like when you not, I mean, when you going from being indoors or having people who work in a cubicle, and you get the chance to go outside and like walking in the park and just go chase this ball. I think that's therapeutic in itself. That being out in the elements of life, there's few better experiences that I've had walking on a golf course and then being on top of a mountain snowboard. Like that view and that vision, like that, I don't know, it just gives me a different vibe.
I forgot if it was him or if it was Ron, or I don't know who it was, but I called somebody because I think I had hit like a 9 or a 10, and then I hit a triple, then I had like an 8, and I was like, why am I still playing this game?
It'll bring you to your knees.
And then I called one of you guys. It might have been Ron, because you don't talk. You're pretty encouraging. And Ron was like, take the fact that you're on a beautiful golf course, and that's a privilege in itself, and just enjoy the scenery and just have fun.
Yeah, that was me. So when people play bad, it's like, just pretend you're just in the park.
Yeah.
Right.
Just who cares how you hit it? You're going to hit them really, really bad shots. Like I said, like Tony, he topped one, and then he says, well, at least it went straight. You know what I mean? It's like, you can see tour players top the ball with drivers. They play every single day, all day. It's their job, and you see them hit the worst shots ever. Because what you're trying to do is very difficult. You're taking the club way up here, and then you're going to bring it all the way back. And if it's barely off in any direction, it's a disaster. And then you got to deal with that disaster.
On top of swinging at 120 miles per hour.
You're lucky to hit it.
No, man.
You're lucky not just to whiff the thing, right? I mean, it's hard just to hit it.
No, for sure. Bucket list. Who would you like to see on the show? Who would you want to have us interview? Just out of curiosity, like Stephen, like think of like 2 or 3 names of someone you'd love to have on the show.
We got to try to get Willie Nelson on here before too long. You know what I mean? Willie will work. Get Willie on here. We should get Q up to come hang out. And Willie. Maybe get just JT on here. Justin Timberlake. He's fun.
Justin's a good dude.
He loves it.
Oh, he loves it. He's good. He's Lakeside member.
He's obsessed.
Lakeside for sure.
How about you, man?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I want to kick it with John Daly so bad.
Let's go.
He's my hero. I call myself the Korean John Daly. I love that dude. I dressed him as Halloween.
I gotta kick it with John Daly, bro. For sure.
He's got a movie coming out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Hollywood Agent, someone call somebody.
Yo.
He is a legend, period.
Straight up.
I was in Augusta, and he does the little thing like 4 or 5 years ago, but he has this little booth, and he has this tour bus out, parks it at Hooters every year. So a big-ass John Daly tour bus outside of Hooters, and he sits in the parking lot, and if you buy something, he'll sign it for you. That's it. He just sits there all day, and there's a line of like patrons from Augusta who want to meet John Daly and get their photo with him, but he won't take his photo with you, or he won't sign your hat or whatever the hell unless you buy something from his merch area.
I'll buy everything.
So I went and I went and I was wearing a early Marvin Golf hat, and then I bought like a bucket hat. I mean, I bought a Scully with a lion on it, his little lion logo. And I had him sign my hat. I had actually him sign my hat. There's very few people I would let sign a hat.
Who else, man?
Steph, probably Ray Allen.
Oh, Ray Allen? How is Ray nice? Can he play?
Ray is really nice.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Ray is really nice.
What, like a 3 handicap? 6?
Ray is probably like a 0 something.
Ish.
Yeah.
Damn,
like
like that?
0.6, 0.7, something like that, yeah.
Jesus
Ray
Shuttleworth?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. I'm new, so since, we all excel, I mean, damn, why the hell can't we have Tiger Woods on here, man? Like, I'd be the dream person, because I got questions for that ass for Tiger, man. So hopefully see, man.
I got a few for him, too.
Mark, Lance, Kip, Matt, make it happen. No, I became really close with Anthony Kim in the last 3 months. We talk almost every day, and he's not ready to talk just yet, but pretty soon he's going to be starting ready to talk. And I know that if he's going to ever talk to anybody, especially anywhere, probably be for me. He said some amazing things about the fact that he's known who I was as a Korean American that inspired him before like Instagram days and all that when he was playing and winning. And he's like, dog, when I found out you play golf, I had to reach out to you. And I was like, shit, I was shocked. So AK be another one. And he took my answer right there. John Daly it's gotta be the dude,
Daly,
man. So, we got to get John on here.
Freddie Couples, though. I want to see Freddie Couples, man. Freddie cool as a fan, dog. He was my captain in the...
I saw that.
Yeah.
Jersey.
Yeah. At Liberty.
Yeah.
He hit me after Freddie hit a 60, right? And he goes, Ben, he's 65. We still got time.
Bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You messaged me.
That's what
remember?
I'm
You're like,
thinking. If this
the
guy
thing
can
is,
shoot it.
I was like, okay. So I rewatched it on ESPN. They have the on demand. And I was like, no, this dude's about to hit it 225, bro, 230. He still drive the ball pretty good, man.
Man, pretty good.
The equipment got so much better that he still hits the ball as far
Yeah.
today as he did when he was at his prime.
Right.
Just off equipment. So although he's older
Yeah.
and his body's not as strong, the
He can
clubs
always
work so
putt.
much better. So he's like, it's almost the same.
His swing
I'm not
is
gonna
so
say I'm not gonna say his
smooth,
name
bro.
because I don't want to get him in trouble. But he said, I want you to do me a favor. I won Ryder Cup with this thing. Just hit this square driver. Just hit it. If you hit 180 yards, I'll give you $10,000. I'm like, how many shots do I get? He goes, I'll give you 3. And sure enough, it was horrible. And then he goes, understand this, Ben. Imagine what Ben Hogan was doing all those years ago in the clubs they were hitting. And these guys still have records that have not been broken. Understand. He goes, Ben, if you hit a stealth driver, he goes, you could just kind of tap it and it's going to go 200 yards. He's like, understand what these guys were doing back then. So you understand because you still talk a lot of shit. Yeah, he's like, I need to see Ben humble, not Ben baller, you know? I was like, no, I get it. But I didn't know what it was like back then. I didn't see the transition of clubs and how difficult. So for Fred Couples still, like even though it's a club, come on, he still had to get the ball in the hole, you know?
Yeah, no, I started playing with like wooden ping drivers and balata balls. Like I really did. That's when I was like 12 or 13. That's what people were using. And like the balata balls, you would cut them. If you hit it thin, the ball's out. So imagine you hit a brand new ball and you hit it thin and you put a smiley face on it and just cut a hole in it where you could almost see the inside of the ball. But yeah, it's a big difference, especially Freddie's older, you know?
I'm so new, bro, you know? To wrap it up, man, what would be like the dream course for us to shoot an episode at?
And for anybody, when it's pertaining to golf, that back patio at Augusta, like
they're not gonna let us in there.
Where?
the back patio at Augusta.
Oh, yeah,
If you
yeah.
gonna swing,
Underneath
bro,
that
you
big
gotta
tree.
swing for the fences, bro. You
There's a
never
big
know if you're gonna
tree.
make it till you take it. You
Yeah.
gotta shoot your shot.
Yeah, the big tree behind Augusta National, right out there with those umbrellas and all that. That'd be a spot for sure.
Sure.
And then you join in the Grove.
Grove, man.
I've been doing research. I heard you on the list.
Man, they just went up a couple hundred. I don't know if I can.
Oh, damn, for real?
Yeah.
I got invited twice already. I just talked to Marcus last night. He's like, yeah, let's go play. But
It's amazing though. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
like it's an amazing experience, bro. It's a hell of a golf course.
I mean, I haven't played Bandon Dunes yet. I want to do that. I want to check out Bandon. So, you know.
That shit is exhausting.
Oh, it is?
Whew.
It's exhausting, right? You leave like exhausted.
Woo. You leave exhausted, but it's a hell of a time, especially if you got a good crew. If you got a good crew, it could be a long day. But if you
Have you ever played golf in Japan or Korea?
No.
Oh, my God, bro. Now, I know you've played way many courses than I have, but when you take an elevator and an escalator to the tee box, bro, when you have a Michelin star dinner at the turn, bro, when you hit the ball and the golf cart automatically goes to the ball because of GPS, like it's just a whole different level out there. Like,
Where is this at?
in Tokyo?
Really?
Yeah, and in Korea too.
Yeah, I've done all that.
Where?
It's just-
And
I mean,
Manila.
He's
I played in Manila.
yeah.
All girl caddies. He's talking about the cart. So the cart is like an
She
8-seater.
ain't gonna let me play there. I'm gonna let you know. Right now. That's enough. She ain't gonna let me go there, bro.
Yeah, you
You know what's funny though? I'm gonna keep it 100. Respect and everything. I love you. You know that already. I mean, just because we're friends, but I had no idea what Malbon was. I was more interested in just supporting your brand. But think of how many Korean fans I have, right? That are from Korea that don't understand. They don't have black friends. They don't have white friends. They have only Korean things. That's it. And I have Korean celebrities that are huge actors out there. The Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt of Korea. I'm like, oh my God, you always wear Malbon. I was like, you don't see the dude I'm with all the time? Stephen Malbon. He's the owner. He's like, oh my God. I had no idea how big the brand is in Korea, bro. It's bigger than anything out there. Like, I don't want to say brand names and shit on anybody, but like, think of like, you know,
Facts.
yeah, it's the Chanel Hermes of golf in Korea. It's crazy. Congrats on that, man.
No, for sure. Everybody, like when I tell people about it, the brand, you know, only thing I could label it as, you know, or can not label it as, but like competitor would be like a Supreme of golf. Like
Yeah.
when you really look at it, like bro, this shit is like for one, you can't really really get it unless you know what I'm saying. So that's where, to me, that's where I really fell in love with it, because it's like the exclusivity of the brand on top of the materials, product. It was just easy.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre hearing y'all even say shit like that.
I mean, honestly, bro, like you've noticed the 4 tournaments I've played. I played my first damn pro. I'm wearing what, Stephen?
That little tiger logo.
Yeah, I'm wearing the Malbon shirt, and people in Japan, it was crazy. I was playing, and this LPGA player was in our foursome, or in our threesome, and she pulled out a Malbon divot tool. She didn't speak English, you know what I mean?
Bro,
and you know what's bullshit too, by the way? Did I tell you this? They made me play from the PGA tees, bro. It was frustrating, man. But she had a Malbon little divot tool. I thought that was cool.
Bro, I honestly thought Discord was like only like on some gaming shit, because I play the game. I didn't. They got like a whole Discord. They got all this shit popping up on my phone, and I'm like, I didn't even know all this shit existed. Like, this is what's going on. Yeah. Every time something drops, it's like,
yeah, there's groups and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got wild. And it's basically like, it's when you start a business with no business plan, and your only goal is to like inspire young people to not think off so stuffy, and then inspire the stuffy folks to realize that like young people of different cultures aren't as bad as they might think. Then it's like, I got my hands full, you know? And so luckily there's been a lot of other brands that are, you know, doing similar, et cetera. So it's starting more of like a movement, which is needed. And
that's amazing. And by the way, guys, we're gonna have so many topics to touch on with golf, different experiences, different courses, different goals, and all that, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys, man. This is amazing.
Let's go.
I look forward to the next episode.
Tap in. We'll see y'all next week.